Another product, this one we've got from the good folks over at Battlbox, Mission 36. Okay? It's based around the concept of TCCC, Tactical Combat Casualty Care. Big deal. It's really starting to get an influx of attention around the country, being that we've had more and more of these mass shootings, active shooter type events. Before I get started, first off, let me start and tell you that this is in fact a review. I promise we will get to this product. There's a couple of things I want to touch on first. The first is that who I am, right? I'm a school resource officer. I've been assigned to that unit for about 3 years. Prior to that, I worked in violent crimes. Prior to that, I worked as a directed patrol deputy, and before that, I was a patrol deputy. I've been around for almost 12 years. At this point, I've done a lot of teaching, a lot of training to folks, both civilians and law enforcement, on what response to an active shooter event looks like. This message is for the general public, but specifically to parents in light of recent events, right? We've had 2 shootings very recently, first in Parkland, then the one that was in Maryland. 2 very contrasting responses, okay? The first one, the one in Parkland, that response is a deviation from like the national standard and what that's supposed to look like. What you should expect is what happened in Maryland. In Parkland, they set up a perimeter around that event, and that is not at all what we teach. The national standard on the local, state, and federal level is and will be single officer response. What that looks like is we respond, and if it's just me by myself, I'm going in. It's time for me to go save lives. I couldn't imagine a situation where I was sitting outside the school that I'm assigned to, listening to gunshots going off, listening to kids crying and screaming for help, and sitting outside and just waiting. I can't picture myself doing that. I'm not wired that way. Most of the people I know who work in this unit and most of the cops that I know are not wired that way. We're wired to help people. That being said, like I said, single officer response. The expectation should be that we show up and then we go in a direct to threat method. Okay, what that looks like is we're bypassing some unknown threats if we have stimulus. Stimulus for us looks like gunshots. It looks like people screaming for help and saying that he's right here, that sort of stuff. When we have that stimulus, we bypass wounded, we bypass unknown threats, go direct to threat. The goal there, our primary goal, our primary response is to either capture or kill a bad guy. This is designated as an active shooter mass casualty response kit. It is. It's just not the first concern. The first concern is to stop the bad thing from happening so that we can start to repair and restore what was damaged, okay, what we've lost. So what we can say is that the very first thing that we want in response to an active shooter event is a highly trained, highly motivated, good guy with a gun that's there to stop the bad guy from doing bad things. Once that threat's been neutralized, that's when we transition into caring and treating wounded and helping to stop the blood loss, stop the death from sinking in these situations. That being said, this is the part where Battlbox comes in, right, with the TCCC kit. Again, Tactical Combat Casualty Care. That's like the trending term right now. I've also heard the term mass wound or mass chaos wound care. In any event, the goal is to stop the bleeding, to stop mass amounts of blood from leaving our bodies. And Battlbox has provided a really good kit to get us started. Okay, I say get us started because I think besides what they've given us, we need a couple other things. We'll go over those too. But there are a couple of things that you're going to need to buy to really complete your trauma kit, or it's also frequently referred to as an IFAK, individual first aid kit. So we'll go through this. They've sent me the Pro Plus Care kit, or the Pro Plus kit, and I'll tell you, it's nifty. It's good. It's good stuff. Let's go through. So in the basic kit, the first thing that you're going to get is a trauma dressing. It's a 6-inch trauma dressing. It's a pretty decent size. It's going to be good for a lot of different things. When we talk about this stuff, we're looking at multifunction. That's like the operative terminology. That's what we're looking for. That's the stuff that really helps us because it's less items with a lot of functionality. Okay, it's less weight for more ability. We talk about this guy, again, it's the North American Rescue Trauma Dressing, so it can be used for wound packing, can also be used for wrapping, to apply pressure, that sort of stuff. Really good kit. I really like this one. The tactical Molly glove dispenser, not really necessary, but it's awesome, right? It's awesome because it's one less thing I've got to worry about carrying in a pocket or something like that, and on my kit I know exactly where it's at. I can go straight to it. Okay, it's Velcro on top to be able to secure the gloves down inside there. You can molly it or attach it to a duty belt, and then the opening is elastic, so that in theory all you got to do is reach in, pull your gloves out, and you'll be able to rock and roll. Again, made by Battletak, just another good product that's coming out of Battletak. Okay, along with that, you get the nitrile gloves. Okay, nitrile gloves better than latex. Less people are allergic to nitrile than latex. I like that they're orange because when you actually go to put your hands on a patient, somebody that you're there to care for, you want to be able to see blood on your gloves. If you have like the tactical black gloves, it's not always easy to see blood on there. The blue ones, it's easy, but orange, it's going to stand out really well too. So I like these. Battletak trauma shears. These guys will cut through anything, right? Super sturdy, super gnarly, and yeah, just a good shear. They have a really nice serration to them to be able to get through clothing, even a belt. I haven't tested it, but I imagine it'd be able to go through a leather belt pretty easily. The tourniquet and shear pouch. Okay, again, it's something that can attach to. Like a duty belt, or you can molly it to a vest or to your kit, whatever. But we're talking about multifunction again. We're talking about being able to get your tourniquet out of here, but then also be able to store your shears within there, so that if you have a need for either one of those, both of them are at your disposal easily, and they're carried relatively in the same spot. It's also marked in the like the high vis orange as TQ. That's the terminology for tourniquet. Okay. The next piece that comes in the basic, the next and last, are the Glow Clo Triage Kit. Now, yeah, these are cool. They're nifty. It's pretty neat to have to be able to take the adhesive, access the adhesive, pull a little tab, and it lights up. If you have the time to put that on a patient, on somebody that you just rendered some aid to, that's good. In a mass casualty event, remember, we're trying to stop as much bleeding as possible. So if I don't have time to do this, then I don't have the time to really do it, right? The kit, so that's what comes in the basic kit. What comes in the advanced kit, beyond that, the next thing is the Halo Seal, okay? This has theoretically it has 2 chest seals, and I say theoretically because once we use both of those chest seals, we're still going to keep this plastic, okay? Because anything that you have packaging wise that you're able to put over a wound and apply pressure is going to help slow down blood, right? It's going to help stop the bleeding, or at least slow it down. The two chest seals that come in here are they're both non-vented. Now when we talk about vented versus non-vented, the goal of a chest seal is to stop pneumothorax. Pneumothorax is essentially a lung collapsing, not being able to properly inflate. It can cause you to drown in your blood. It can also cause you to choke to death, not be able to get enough air, pass out, and expire. So, in the event that there's a sucking chest wound, i.e., a chest wound that's pulling air in and not allowing that lung to inflate, having a non-vented chest seal is better than having a chest seal. One important thing I'll talk about with the chest seals is that when you apply one, it's always important that if you have a wound in the front, you have to do that touch and sight check on the back side to see if there's an exit wound or another causation for bleeding out the back. Just another point. We'll touch on this packaging here in just a second too. Also, the advanced kit comes with a rescue litter. Right? It's big enough to hold a big dude, right? It'll hold up to a 5 hundo guy, right? So like a really big guy. It's got 10 grab handles, so it's fun for the whole family. And yeah, I've never used it, but I imagine it would make a body drag much easier than grabbing somebody by the ankles or grabbing by the arms if you have the opportunity to use it. That's what comes in the advanced kit. In the pro kit, now we're starting to talk about some cool stuff, right? Let's cover this. So you get like the TCC kit, like the TCCC kit, the TCCC kit. You actually get these cards. Again, these battle cards are good because you get to, you can mark on there where the wound is. Honestly, beyond that, I'm not really concerned about what I'm going to write on here. Especially if I'm in a situation where I'm going body to body to body trying to triage mass casualty. We get the it includes a nifty little marker for your TCCC cards, and again it comes with a bunch of patient markers ranging from deceased to immediate to expectant. That means somebody who you expect is going to pass away. Delayed, meaning you've rendered some aid to that person, you think they're going to be okay. Immediate, which means hey, they need help right away. And minor, which means they're probably not hurt at all, or they're not hurt to a point where they could expire as a result of their injury. Also included is some tape. This tape's okay. We'll talk about the tape that I carry in my kits, just because honestly I like a bigger tape. I like a tape that you could wrap around and it takes less effort. With the small tape, it's good like if you needed to really secure those bracelets or anything like that. It's just a little bonus that they throw in there. And the last thing that's included in the pro kit are these blood type patch sets. I'm O negative, which basically means like I'm Superman. I can donate blood to anybody. I can give anybody my body parts, and their body won't reject it, because who would reject my parts in the beginning? But yeah, always good to be marked for that. In the event that you need a transfusion, somebody's got to give you some blood. It's better to know so that you're not getting that toxic reaction to blood that doesn't belong in your body. I keep my blood type patch on my ballistic vest that I wear every day, and then also on my plate carrier for extraordinary deployment kind of stuff. Now then, the thing that I'm super pumped about, okay, that I'm really, really pumped about with this kit is this combat medic bag. Okay, again, it's coming to you from the folks over at Battlbox. Super impressed at the stuff that they're coming out with, especially because it's cost effective in comparison to what else is on the market. This one is really cool because it has like the World War II handle that you could carry like the old medics used to do, or you could carry it like a satchel. It's not a man purse, it's a satchel because Indiana Jones carried one. Or two other ways you can do it. Put this around your neck, clip this around your waist, and now your kit is right in front of you in your workspace as you're trying to take care of business. The last one is being able to molly it to your chest rig. I'm probably going to molly this to my plate carrier and include it as a part of my kit. The last thing that I got with this, and that's in the Pro Plus kit, is their knife of the month. From the folks over at Fox Knives coming out of Italy, we could start with this guy first. Okay, this is big enough to be able to clip over a duty belt. Okay, to be able to secure to your like your regular belt or whatever. But then it's also you're able to weave it through the molly to be able to really secure it. And the holster for it is pretty neat because it just kind of clips in and clips out. Now the knife itself is super sharp. Okay? It's got a serration on this edge. It's got a can opener on this side, or a beer bottle opener, because if I guess if things are really bad, you just crack one open here, buddy, like have your last one, and let me know how the wild blue yonder is. It also has this standard screwdriver and a Phillips on this side, and then it's got a window punch when it's closed. Sorry, that's what I was trying to think of. It's got a window punch when it's closed. Now, I'm not going to demo that window punch this time. Got a little criticism from the last review I did where I broke some glass, so we won't do that this time. But the knife also has a clip on it if you wanted to throw it in a pocket or something like that. Okay, so like I said, I am more likely to respond. I'm more likely to respond to an active shooter or mass casualty event than the common person, right? This kit is going to stay in my truck. Okay, it's going to stay in my G ride, my patrol car. It's also going to stay in my truck when I'm not working. I'm gonna move it over to my truck because I think it's a really good kit, and if the pros are carrying it, as somebody who's not a pro, it's probably a good idea to try to mimic what they're doing, right? So we touched on what we get in the kit. We talked about all the different items and that sort of stuff, and I had mentioned earlier that there were some things that we're going to need to buy. So let's talk about those. The first one that I always recommend is duct tape. Duct tape because it's able to apply some sort of compression, able to keep steady pressure on wounds. If you don't have anything else, you can also tape around things like this, right? Like that bag. So if you wanted to use the bag after you had exhausted your chest seals to try to stop bleeding on something, you could actually form a seal using some duct tape, as it forms a relatively liquid-proof seal. The next thing that you're going to need to buy, or that I recommend, is like a combat gauze, right? Some sort of hemostatic gauze or a hemostatic agent. Hemostatic, that term in and of itself means trying to cause hemostasis. Hemostasis is the process of blood coagulating or turning in from a liquid into a gel-like substance. It indicates that healing is happening and blood loss is slowing down. It's a very good thing for us to be able to slow blood down by causing hemostasis, and that's what those tools are used for. The last thing is a tourniquet. Lots of different kinds of tourniquets out there. This one is a soft T. I'm not going to tell you which one you should or should not get. What I will tell you is that whichever one you choose, you should be familiar with it and be able to stage and deploy it rapidly. The speedier that you can get a tourniquet on a body part, the faster you're going to stop the blood flow. One more rule of thumb for tourniquets that we always talk about is that if it's on a limb, I don't know why you'd put it anywhere else, it's got to go as close to the heart as possible. So if I was shot through the bicep or through a tricep or something like that, it goes up into my armpit as tight as I possibly can get it. And then we start working on some of the other agents that we have to be able to stop blood, like hemostatic gauze, that sort of stuff. The kit itself, as I've shown it to you, retails at $149.99. Now, they say that the value of the kit is $298.75. However, in looking at the website and that's one of the really cool things about Battlbox is they'll show you what the stuff costs if you try to buy it sole and separate on its own. Some of the prices that they listed on their website were actually cheaper than to what the actual product cost. For instance, the knife. The knife was like $7 more expensive than to what they showed. So they're actually saving you more money than to what they're demonstrating you by showing you in the mission card. Now I know that there are those guys out there, there are those kinds of folks out there that are like, oh, well, $149.99 for that kit, I could put one together for way cheaper than that. Well, cool. If you can do that, you should do that. I'm not a big fan of naysayers, people who stand on the sidelines and want to, talk down on stuff, talk down about what people are doing. If you think you can do better, go do better. You don't have to tell everybody about it. You don't have to badmouth these guys because of it. But I guarantee you that you can't. I guarantee you won't build as good a quality as this kit is for the same amount. The last thing I want to say in going back to the first point of this video is that all of this stuff is geared to help. that folks like myself, and I imagine the folks who carry this kind of stuff, who don't do, who aren't a first responder, a person who isn't a first responder, who buys this kind of stuff, has that heart that's ready to help, ready to jump into the mix. That's something we need to embrace. That's something that we definitely need more of, and we need to encourage that kind of stuff. Don't let the bad things that you see in the media about the response or lack of response of one person or maybe a few people change your mind about what you believe of people as a whole. For instance, one shortcoming of one police agency should not tell you that all police agencies are this way. All police agencies are going to do this or going to do that. The national standard is different than from what was demonstrated to you. Hopefully you can take that away. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you liked it, toss